Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to create a multi-view drawing. The drawing we're going to create is based on part 3 of our isometric and multi-view drawings assignment. And if you look at that assignment, you're going to notice this image right here. And this is what we want to recreate. The purpose of this is basically to practice setting up a multi-view drawing, to draw one correctly. So what is a multi-view drawing? Basically, a multi-view drawing is a drawing that has the different views of a shape. So here's the isometric. You can see that we've got this front view right here, we've got a side view, and then we've got the top right over here. The multi-view version shows the front view, the top view, and the right side view separately. And that's important. A couple things that you want to think about as you start to create your multi-view drawing. First is that your paper needs to be horizontal. With isometrics, when we're creating a three-dimensional drawing, our paper was vertical, but for this assignment, for creating a multi-view drawing, we always want to make things horizontal, or keep our paper horizontal. Secondly, we need to make sure that we know where we're supposed to draw each view. What a lot of people like to do is they actually take their piece of paper and fold it. So you can see I've got this paper folded, and it's got 4 different squares. You don't have to do this, but if this helps you out, you're more than welcome to. The front view always goes down here. Now you're not going to actually draw right out front, top, and side, but just for you guys to see this, our front view always goes down the bottom corner here. Our top view always goes here, above it, above the front view, and then our right side view always goes over here every single time we draw one. Never put the top view like over in some random spot or the side view somewhere else. Front view is always in this bottom corner, top view, and then the side view. This 4th square, a lot of times what we would do is put the isometric drawing in here. Sometimes we would draw a different view of it or put some notes on there. So if I had, this is the actual shape. If I actually redrew this, I could paste that right into this top portion here. So let's start to create this drawing. This is already created, and I've got the Lincoln cubes put together so you can see the actual shape. So we've got this surface right here, which is all part of the front view. We've got the top, and then we've got the side view as well. I'm going to take a piece of blank graph paper to start this. And I'm going to start by drawing down this bottom corner here. What I like to do is to create a starting point for my drawing. So this point right here is going to be this corner. Slide this down a little bit. Make sure that when you create your starting point, you're not right on the edge. And again, you're still in this bottom area over here. So you could go, 2 over and 2 up. You could do 3 and 3. Both of those would be fine. So now, when we look at the front view, we can see that we have this rectangle surface right here. That is these 2 blocks. They're even with each other. There's no edge. So you can see that this is one solid surface. We have this edge right here, which is this one, followed by, you can see this surface right here, that's this last block. That would be this one over here. And then we also have the block on top that we have to draw. Each one of these is 3 grid squares, so we're drawing this the actual size. So when we're done, we should be able to lay it right over the top here, and it should match up. Alright, so I know I got to go 3 cubes over. That's going to be 9 grid squares. I like to lay out my points first. So before I start drawing, I put dots, and then I can connect those dots later. So 3, 6, and then another 3 over here. There's a point. I know I have to go up 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. From there, as I'm looking at this, it kind of comes all the way over. You can see over here that it would be 2 cubes over. So 3, 6. I'm going to go up and over. So this is going to be the first part. Now I'm going to connect my lines. I'm doing this very quickly. When you guys are creating your multi-view drawings, I want you to take a little bit more time. Use a ruler or a straight edge so that you can make real nice, straight, clean lines. But again, for this video, I'm just going to do this quick to get through it. So we've got the outside portion done. Right now, this shape right here would be, basically, if I can take these apart real quick, just to give you an idea, that would be that. So we have just like one one kind of L shape. Everything's on the same level, everything's even with each other, so there's no edges. But we actually have this shape instead. So now when we look at this, again, we have this edge going across here, so that portion has to get filled in, that's this part. And then we have one right down here. And so that is our front view. Once you get the front view drawn, next thing to do is either the top or the side. I'm going to do the top next. Next thing to pay attention to before you start drawing. You're going to create another starting point. You need to make sure that that starting point matches up with your original one right over here. So I went 2 squares over, so I had to go 2 squares over again. And then I went 2 squares down, just so it's not on the edge here. As I look at the top, I can see that I have this surface right here. That would be this portion. And then I've got that single block that's sitting right on top. Once I start to draw it now, I know that I'm 2 cubes. This is the depth. Right over here, this is the depth. That's 2 cubes. The width is 3 cubes wide. And then I'm going to kind of just lay my points out. From there, I'm going to go 3, 6. That's those parts. I'm going to come up and over. And then up there. Connect my lines. Just like that. So I've got the outer portion done. If you were to leave this one the way it is, it would basically be this shape right here. So you can see everything is all even, but because we have that block on top, we have to show it. We've got an edge here that we can see. We also have an edge right here that we can see, so we got to draw those in. Those are going to come right over here. Just like that. So there's my top view. Again, this surface matches that. That cube is right there. When I compare these now, I had my starting point line up with this one, so all of my edges should match up. And this is a way to double check your work. That matches up. This edge right here matches that one. And we can see the reason for that is from the front view, we have this edge right here. It's actually kind of, this portion. And then when we look at it from the top, it's the same edge. So that matches that part. I have this, which is going to match up with that one. You can see that. And then this outside one matches up as well. You don't actually have to draw these lines. That's why we use the graph paper, but just to show you what you're looking for, all of your edges from your front view to your top view should match up. Now let's look at our side view. Our side view, we can see, is 3 squares. By looking at it, we got this first one here, we got this second one, and then we've got this third one. We look over here, and you can see that, again, that's correct. We got 1, 2, and 3. So now we just got to put them on a piece of paper. Again, when I start my side view, we know that it goes over here. And also, my side view has to match up with my front view. It's got to line up. So since I started 2 up from the bottom here, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Create a starting point, and then now I'm going to start drawing. Alright, so as I look at this, I know that it is 2 cubes tall, so that's going to be 6 grid squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I know from here it goes 1 square over, and then it goes down, or 3 squares over, I should say, and then down again. And then lastly, I've got this portion that I've got to finish up. From there, I'm going to connect my dots. And then lastly, I've got to draw in my inside edges. So as I look at this now, and again, you can already tell just by looking at the picture they give you, but if you didn't have this and you didn't know what this was, as we look at this, we can see that there's an edge right here. That edge is going to fit there, okay, because it actually matches up with this portion. And then we have this edge as well that we got to show. And so there's our side view. If I check my work, I can see that this bottom part of each shape matches up. This matches up right there. And then also, this matches up. So you can see. So again, guys, kind of the takeaways from this. Number one, when you're creating your multi-view drawing, make sure your paper is horizontal. 2, make sure that you put the views in the correct spots. The front view always goes here, the bottom corner. Top view is always above it. Side view is always to the side. Third thing to remember is that when you create your drawings, you want to make sure that all of your edges match up. So wherever you start your front view, your top view matches up with it, and then the same thing over here. Never draw your side view up here or somewhere else. Everything should match up. And then lastly, guys, as you're drawing, you don't need to draw these lines right here. I just drew these so that you could see them. But for you guys, since you're using graph paper, you can just match it up just by looking at it. All right. Well, hope this helps, and see if you can do it.